Dixon Dallas. You may not be familiar with his name, but you've definitely heard his song Good Lookin'.
He's bouncing off my booty cheeks, I love the way he rides. I can hardly breathe when he's pumping deep inside.
It has arguably become the song of the summer. Don't look at when I'm posting this. I meant to put this video out much earlier. This just took me way longer. The song has garnered over 13 million plays on Spotify, 9.5 million likes on the original TikTok video, and 41,000 TikToks use the sound, many of those videos receiving additional millions of views. But where did he come from? How did Dixon Dallas achieve this level of virality? And more importantly, does he deserve it? Is he queerbaiting? Or even worse, turning the gay community into a joke for the sake of clout and money? Hi, my name is Star, your friendly neighborhood no longer a go-go dancer, and welcome back to my channel. Lucky for you, I did all the research so that you don't have to. And my god, was I not prepared for the amount of research. Anyways, the first place that I thought I'd do my research is look through his entire discography. However, he has an insane discography, and in order for me to cover it all, this video would probably be hours long, and I don't want to do that to you or to myself. So I'm only going to be covering what I deem as significant in this video. So let's start at the very beginning. June 12th, 2016. In his home state of Alabama, a 24-year-old, practically a fetus, Jake Hill, posts under the Reddit username DJ Booty Butt. It's a SoundCloud link of him rapping to the Busta Rhymes verse in Look At Me Now.
Cause I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away. Better know that I don't and I won't ever stop, cause you know I gotta win every day.
And this audio clip goes viral, reaching about 170k views. You can still find the original SoundCloud account for DJ Booty Butt. It takes a little bit of digging, but you still can find it on the internet. I do just want to take a second while editing this. I didn't realize that that original audio clip does have him say the N-word, because that is part of the original lyrics, and granted, I don't know what year it is, like it's 2016 at the time, so kind of still not cool, kind of not long enough of a time to not do that, especially he knows he's white, even though on the internet people don't necessarily know that he's white, so that's probably a good reason why it's kind of hard to find the clip, and he probably doesn't want to be associated with that audio anymore. Just a little disclaimer out there. I think the big reason for this audio clip going viral is that it's 2016. Everyone likes seeing a white boy rap fast. Like, we are coming off of the years of the peak popularity of artists like Watsky and Macklemore, and then we're on the rise of artists like Logic, Lil Dicky, Bo Burnham. So in response to his audio clip going viral, DJ Booty Butt thanks everyone for the support and promotes his SoundCloud account where he makes, quote, parody raps and semi-serious raps if anyone is interested in listening. His first album, Semi-Serious, released September 18th, 2016, features a mix of serious songs and comedy songs. It's very apt to the title. His serious songs feel influenced by a lot of popular rappers of the time, like Logic, Post Malone, maybe even a little bit of J. Cole and Drake. I personally think the final song, Blood, is the highlight of the album.
I know you ain't doing the greatest, but maybe one day I'll be famous. I'll get you out of that fucking apartment you've been in since Christmas, back when I was 16 and reckless.
Although it's really hard to just pick one single song because so many of the songs stand out for different reasons. I think specifically the song Blood shows that he has incredible lyrical talent, and this is his first album. The lyrical capability in the song Blood shows so much deep emotional vulnerability, despite literally just rapping earlier about ignoring his girlfriend to play video games.
Yeah, we can do this all night. Jake, hurry up. Can't you see I'm in the game, girl? Give me a second. I like the way you scream my name, though. I've been out of work all weekend. I ain't even changed clothes. You don't get off the fucking game.
Stop.
Oh my god, Jake.
My friends are gonna hear you.
I don't care. Pause it.
You can't pause online. You just fucking ruined my kill streak, too.
I don't give a shit,
God.
Jake.
Okay, look. I'm just gonna play The Last of Us. I'm gonna play The Last of Us for like 10 minutes.
Not.
Whiplash, am I right? Speaking of which, his comedy songs feel strongly influenced by Lil Dicky, and you can really tell that he looks up to him and potentially wants to be the next Lil Dicky. And some people recognize DJ Booty Butt's comedic talent early on. H3H3 used his song I Miss the Old Ethan. There's a popular PewDiePie animated video that uses the song PewDiePie Song. And I think these little early recognitions do put him on track to becoming the next Lil Dicky, but he would still have a long way to go. On February 5th, 2017, he releases Semi-Serious 2 under the new name I Am Jake Hill. Although his real name wasn't really a secret, this is the first time he's using his real name alongside his music, and this album follows the same prompt as the first Semi-Serious, containing a mix of serious and comedy songs. It's shorter and weaker in my opinion compared to the first Semi-Serious album. The one important thing that Semi-Serious 2 introduces is Jake Hill's first alter ego, Lil Pinecone.
Bitches ain't shit, pop a motherfucking clip. CEO up in that bitch, all these hoes up on my dick.
He has this grating Lil Jon-esque type voice and rap style that is basically there anytime Jake wants to go absolutely buck wild stupid with the lyrics. However, this alter ego is pretty short-lived as it only appears for about a year after he's first introduced. After Semi-Serious 2, we get the EP Drag Me Deeper. This is the first entirely serious work that Jake Hill has ever released, and most notably, this EP features the song 38 to the Face.
38 to the face, pulling, you ain't shit, bitch. Thought you were my blood, never will be, never was.
I believe 38 to the Face is the first popular song of his that contains that signature Jake Hill sound. If you were to release 38 to the Face now, it would blend in with his current discography perfectly. 38 to the Face has a trap beat, screaming vocals, a fuck you attitude, and that is what I think makes the Jake Hill sound. Around the same time that we get 38 to the Face, we get another alter ego, Lil Trash.
What about that place? No. What about that place? No. Fuck! Jake, calm down. No, I'm about to turn around. So many places to eat in this town.
Now, I have a little bit of a conspiracy theory about Lil Trash. I think that Jake Hill wanted a separate alter ego to make silly and ridiculous songs, so he made Lil Pinecone. However, Lil Pinecone has a difficult voice to maintain for long periods of time because it's so grating and scratchy. You can't maintain that. You can't maintain that for a show, much less like an entire tour, so there's no way that he could actually keep up with the Lil Pinecone alter ego. So he had to make one where he could still make silly songs, but was a little bit easier to maintain, so he made Lil Trash. That's my theory. I don't know if that's true or not. He made an entire separate Spotify account for Lil Trash, which I'm not exactly sure on the reasoning for that. I would imagine it has something to do with internet search capability, but you know, I have no idea. In April 2017, we get the most popular song in his discography so far, IDK. And although this song was released when TikTok was still Musical.ly, it would proceed to go viral on TikTok a year or two later. It's been used in about 42,000 TikTok videos. It's basically a classic joke on the couple that's trying to decide where to get dinner. The boyfriend offers these many options. The girlfriend doesn't like any of them for whatever reason. It's very Bo Burnham. It's very Lil Dicky. It's very, dare I say, peak millennial humor. I mean, it's 2016, 2017. Millennials are still like the target demographic that's pushing cultural trends at the time. Most of Gen Z is still too young to really be on the internet. The point I'm trying to make is that this song is very of its time, and Jake Hill knows what is funny and how to stay relevant at this time, and he would proceed to do this in the future. I want to step back from talking about just Jake Hill's music, and I want to take a second to talk about somebody very significant in Jake Hill's life. Josh A. In June of 2017, Josh A released several singles in collaboration with Jake Hill that would ultimately be featured on his album Blessed 2. And this would be the beginning of several more collaborations, as well as a beautiful friendship. Jake Hill and Josh A's next collab album, Better Off Dead, in my opinion, and from what I gather on the internet, is one of the classics of both of their discographies. The intro to this album cracks me up without fail. The Halloween theme makes it feel very cohesive and fun. It's cocky, it's violent, it's got comedy, it's got suicidal thoughts.
I'm not suicidal, I don't wanna fucking die. I just wanna be able to close my eyes and feel alright.
And you can tell that Jake and Josh just work really well together. So basically, the majority of 2018 is Jake Hill's like huge year as far as releasing music. He's just like nonstop churning out albums and EPs and singles and whatnot. So literally only a week after Better Off Dead is released, the album Spectrum is released. This album is also very well received and ends up becoming one of his most popular, partially because it contains a handful of previously popular songs like 38 to the Face, We Die Too. However, that doesn't take away anything from the new songs like Die a King, which is one of his most popular songs of all time.
Soak up the rags, fuck up the mask, light up the night and I never look back. I am the hunter, you are the monster, I am the entity, I am the haunter.
And he does an interesting thing with the album Spectrum. Halfway through the album, he kind of just shifts the style of the album entirely. We get to see the full spectrum of J. Kill. Fucking take me out back. Halfway through the album, it shifts to a more toned down and vulnerable set of songs, kind of like what we saw in a couple of the semi-serious songs. And although we've seen this kind of music style from J. Kill before, it was really never popular and it kind of got forgotten. And unfortunately, it wasn't really that popular on this album. Most of the focus was on the first half of the songs on the album that are a little bit harder, louder, more aggressive. His softer, more chill songs haven't really gotten as much attention as the others, but that doesn't mean he's gonna stop making that type of music. On April 8th, 2018, Jake releases Solace, an unexpected but well-received album. It is a full album of these more chill, emotional, they're almost like lo-fi songs. I think part of the reason why this album was so well received is because we get to see a different side of J. Kill. In the album, he very openly expresses the struggles with mental illness. The song Stay is one of J. Kill's most popular songs of all time.
I had feeling down but never out, I'm hanging by a thread. Sometimes I feel like I'm dying, sometimes I feel already dead.
Which is interesting because it uses the same sample as the popular XXXTentacion song, Nobody Dies in Their Nightmares. It's a good, catchy sample, and I don't blame him for using it. Plus, XXXTentacion is very clearly a strong influence in J. Kill's music. You can tell that he looks up to him. He even had a whole single dedicated to his death. June 15th, 2018, we get Better Off Dead 2, which in my opinion is the weakest of the trilogy, but I have to throw it in here because it's part of a trilogy. August 2018, we get the single Doom.
Put him in a coffin, stop him, no talking, pop him, hide from my sorrows, let me get a hit to borrow, I'll bleed tomorrow, I'm fucking sick.
Which may not be significant in the grand scheme of his whole discography, but it is significant to me because I believe this is the first J. Kill song that I have ever heard. And this would have been very early in my e-boy music journey. Like, I found this song around the time that I found Corpse Husband, and I found Corpse Husband before he released E-Girls Are Ruining My Life. And when doing my research for this whole video and listening to J. Kill's whole discography, rediscovering this song made me realize how much I forgot that I love this song. I think it's a real shame that it's not more popular. I wish it was. Go listen to it. Alright, a few more rapid fire ones. October 11th, 2018, the third Better Off Dead album is released. I personally think this one is the best of the trilogy, but unfortunately it's not as well remembered as the first. I just think it's better with its theming and it just has more songs. January 24th, 2019, we get Solace 2, the EP, which has a lot of songs similar to the first Solace album. February 16th, 2019, we get the single Starship 92, which I've seen kind of anecdotally as popular, but I don't know the actual stats that make it popular. I think it might just be popular because it has more of that chill lo-fi sound that Jake isn't like known for, but it is like well loved by his fans, by more of his like hardcore fans. June 15th, 2019, J. Kill and Josh A release Save Our Souls. It's very in line with a lot of what I would consider the most popular subculture rap at the time. Like artists that were formerly considered underground that are now mainstream, like Post Malone, XXXTentacion, Juice WRLD, artists that kind of just sound like you took an old school pop punk emo band and threw an 808 in there, which makes sense. Jake has been mixing trap and metal for a number of years at this point, and it's like basically become his signature sound. Speaking of that trap metal mix signature sound, we have to talk about the single released on October 18th, 2019, Voidwalker.
So keep that same energy. When you see me, I ain't bleeding. Bring the pain. Enemies, R.I.P. They seem deceased. Now call me out. Cut the shit. Speak about what you ain't in. You running your mouth, but you ain't about the fucking ruckus that you spit. Look at me.
Definitely one of his most popular singles of all time. Last I checked, it's been used in 12,000 TikToks, and it is kind of considered the Jake Hill song. It's got the trap beat, it's got the brutal screams, all combined were so different for the time that the song instantly became forever associated with the Jake Hill brand. Speaking of TikTok sounds, July 15th, 2020, he releases By the Sword, his most popular song according to Spotify.
Yo, bitch, I got some buzzes clawing on my fucking stomach. I'm from the shadows, let the gallows make the summit.
Additionally, I consider it important because it is technically his first and possibly only funk song. If you don't know what funk is, I'm sure you've heard it on TikTok or any short form media. It's what I would call the EDM of the 2020s, as opposed to the 2010s, it was dubstep. By the Sword would probably be categorized more as drift funk by Spotify standards, just because it has more of like a running beat as opposed to a walking beat like funk more traditionally has. But I think this song, By the Sword, just consistently shows how Jake Hill is able to stay on trend and sometimes even just ahead of trends in music. Like, I feel like funk really took off more in 2021, 2022, and he released By the Sword in 2020. So he's just ahead of that trend curve in culture, in music, in comedy. All right, I'm gonna take another moment to personally indulge in my favorite single of Jake Hill's entire discography, Run Up.
I bet you won't run up. Keep that blade tucked up. Work to your mother. I leave her in the gutter.
If it wasn't clear already, I am personally a huge fan of Jake Hill, and this is my favorite song of Jake Hill's of all time. It's not his most popular by any means. I think it's about as well loved as like Voidwalker or 38 to the Face, but it's the most popular in my heart. I can recite this song front to back, including every little and I hate that I made those sounds. If you put a gun to my head and said, recite all the lyrics or I'll shoot, I would already be saying, before you finish the sentence. Alright, thanks for letting me indulge. We're gonna go back to the video. So if 2018 was Jake Hill's big year of releasing a ton of music, he's kind of wind down on the grind for the past couple of years. So basically it's been over a year since we've gotten a full album from Jake Hill, which is a little unusual, but I mean, he has just been kind of slowing down, and he's been working on a genre change. Dying Lately is Jake Hill's first entirely pop-punk album, and it was very well received. According to Genius, it is his fourth most played album of all time, and that might not seem like a lot. However, this album is going against previous albums that have been out for much longer. So for it to garner that many plays and that much popularity and not being out for nearly as long is pretty significant. Also around this time, he is featured on some songs by the band Magnolia Park, which is also a relatively new but very talented pop-punk band. You should definitely check them out. Now, sadly, Dying Lately is the last full album from Jake Hill. He's released singles and EPs here and there, but he hasn't released a full album in over 2 years, which is part of a greater trend of music being released less and less frequently by him. However, this is due to an even larger project that we will soon find out. October 10th, 2021, Jake Hill debuts a new alter ego and entire Spotify account, You're Pretty. The Dying Lately album wasn't just a genre change for Jake Hill, it was a genre change for all of his alter egos as well. The first single released under You're Pretty, Keep Writing Me, has about 12 million plays on Spotify, and other singles released under the You're Pretty name each have about a couple million plays.
I'm your little he spreads my cheeks and he makes me scream. He's my number one daddy, gonna make him cream inside of me.
original video debuting the original song went fairly viral on TikTok, but unfortunately he regularly deletes his videos, so I have no way of tracking down how many views it actually got, but I know it was big. My coworkers independently knew about this song, and my coworkers are not chronically online like me. That's how I knew it was big. Currently, the remade video has around 100,000 likes, and there are over 400 TikToks using this song, but I definitely know it's more than that, just because I know that the original video was deleted. Keep Riding Me is the perfectly formulated pop-punk gay anthem. It is catchy as hell. A big reason for this song's success is the earnest delivery and effort in the writing and the composition. I truly believe he put the same amount of heart and effort into this song as he does with any of his other music. But why? Why make this song? Not that that many people were opposed to this song, or the song wasn't really all that controversial. I don't know about you, but when I was in high school, the emo kids were constantly being accused of being gay, whether it be because of the tight pants, the eyeliner, the whiny voices, or any number of reasons. And back then, gay marriage wasn't legal across the country, or at least my country. I live in America. And at the time, gay people were definitely more persecuted than they are now. They still absolutely are persecuted quite a bit of the time, but at least now there are some legal ramifications in place to prevent some persecution. But it was definitely a lot worse back when I was in high school. I remember a lot of emo kids at the time going like, no homo, lol, haha, I'm not gay. And I also remember like a lot of emo pop punk bands that I listened to quite a bit at that time, also kind of having that same energy, just kind of like a very like casually joking, subtle homophobia almost. It's weird. It's like this like disconnect of like, you don't look traditionally masculine, but the second someone points that out, there's like this immediate knee-jerk reaction to like throw that under the bus and be like, oh, I'm not like that in that way. Ugh. It's like, make up your mind. Like, are you cool with looking kind of fruity or not? And although Jake Hill made this song 10 years after the explosion of what we consider like OG pop punk bands, to make an explicitly gay pop punk song is kind of like a giant fuck you, or rather a fuck yeah to being gay. Like, yeah, we all kind of look like what you would assume a gay person to look like. So what? So what if we are? What if, instead of objectifying a 16-year-old girl, I objectify my boyfriend? Or maybe he just wanted to write a silly song. Fuck, what do I know? Alright, we're gonna jump ahead a few years to finally get to the good stuff. It's Pride Month, 2023. A new alter ego appears. Dixon Dallas. He releases what would end up being the song of the summer, Good Lookin'.
He's bouncing off my booty cheeks. I love the way he rides. I can hardly breathe when he's pumping deep inside.
You know the lyrics. It's stuck in your head all summer long. And for good reason. It's catchy as hell. It's so well produced. It's well executed. I expect nothing less from Jake Hill. It's currently sitting at 15 million plays on Spotify, easily surpassing Keep Riding Me in a much shorter amount of time. And most of the other singles Dixon Dallas has released are over 1 million plays. Alright, so I just spent probably about half an hour talking about Jake Hill's entire discography here, but I haven't really talked about Jake Hill himself. We don't know a whole lot about him, and that's kind of by design. He really just likes to release music and not talk about his personal life all that much. So how am I to answer your number one burning question? Is he gay? Let me start by answering that by introducing a very important person that has been in the background this whole time. Call me Courtney. Although they've never been secret about their relationship, Jake and Courtney don't really talk about it on their socials all that much, and really only his hardcore fans know about it. According to Jake, they've dated since day one. According to Courtney, it was 6 years. So his fans were really saddened to hear that they broke up just about a year ago in December of 2022. The breakup was mutual. They were very clear that they don't hold any animosity towards the other person. However, it's the internet. people are gonna talk. There's been a handful of theories floating around suggesting possible reasons for the breakup. Some of the sillier ones being that Jake came out as gay to Courtney, or even as a step further, he came out that he has been dating Josh A this whole time, which I think is hilarious. Some people believe that Courtney's OnlyFans work caused the breakup. You know, silly stuff. On a more realistic side, and what I'm kind of choosing to believe, is that back in 2021, when Keep Writing Me and that whole pop punk song was going viral, it gave Jake a lot more opportunity to do things like tour, but touring is basically like being in a long distance relationship, and that would put a lot of strain on any relationship. Is it the more boring theory? Yes, but I don't know. Life is kind of boring sometimes, and I realistically think that that is probably what caused the breakup. But we'll never know. They never disclose exactly why it happened, but I mean, they hold no animosity to each other, so I feel no reason to speculate further. So why talk about this? All I'm trying to say is for 6 years of Jake Hill's adult life, he was in a heterosexual relationship. And on top of that, there's a couple of lines here and there in his music, like in the song Uncomfortable, where he says he's not gay. Whenever he does skits in his songs where he's in a relationship, it's always with a woman. All of what I've gathered, I'm inclined to believe that Jake Hill is straight, but he has never publicly disclosed his sexuality, so we can't say for sure. But I think the more important question to ask is, does it matter if he's straight? If he is straight, because of the Dixon Dallas persona, he has gained immense popularity, toured the country, and has presumably made a decent living off of pretending to be gay. So of course this has led many people to believe that he's queerbaiting. Some people even argue that the song is actually harmful to the queer community, that it mocks gay people and gay relationships, and it normalizes making fun of the queer community, or even encourages you to make fun of the queer community because it'll get you so much clout on TikTok, bro. Now, I don't have the right to determine what is or is not queerbaiting or what is or is not homophobia. I am not part of the queer community, so I'll let you deliberate in the comments. However, I will say the overwhelming majority of the queer community loves this song for various reasons. Some say that this song gives visibility to the small town country gay, you know, the gay who is proud of both their sexuality and their F-150. Not every gay is hitting the circuit party screaming "Yas, Queen" while holding a vodka soda. The country gay does exist and is a minority within the LGBTQ community, but they also deserve representation, and that is what Dixon Dallas is for. And I wouldn't necessarily say that the song says, haha, gay people. I believe it says, haha, look at this industry that is so afraid of gay people. We all know country music, or rather specifically modern pop country music, has always been homophobic, not to mention racist, misogynistic, etc., etc. So many people from all backgrounds hate modern pop country music, partially because of the previously mentioned bigotry, but also people hate it because of how watered down and formulaic the whole genre has become. And a big reason for that is the people making pop country music right now have never worked a day in their lives. They don't come from the places that they're singing about. Dixon Dallas is by no means the first person to make a gay country song, but regardless, no matter how much of a spotlight is on you, I think it takes some serious balls to walk into that space and make a declaration that instantly puts a target on your back like that. But that is the only way to change the industry. Do I think Dixon Dallas has the power to revolutionize the country music industry? No, but we have to start somewhere, and I think at the very least, he makes you think about why country music has sounded the way it has for so long, and why can't we think outside the box. In conclusion, Dixon Dallas is Jake Hill, and is also You're Pretty, Lil Trash, and Lil Pinecone. He's a musician that sometimes writes silly songs, and is pretty good at it. If he is gay, he made a great song for his community, and if he isn't gay, he made a song that gave visibility to an underrepresented community, and that gives a big ol' middle finger to a bigoted industry. I was planning on putting out this video while Jake Hill was on tour, but this video took me a lot longer to research and write the script for, and now the tour is over, so I'll just tell you to go check him out on Spotify. I'm personally a little biased, so I think you should check him out for yourself and see if you like him or not. If you like the video, please like it. Comment your thoughts on Dixon Dallas or Jake Hill below. I'm genuinely curious to see your opinions, especially if you are part of the queer community. Please subscribe. I mentioned this in a couple of videos ago, but I told myself that I would not get a real camera for myself until I'm able to monetize this channel, and in order to monetize you need, I believe, a minimum of 500 subscribers. I am about halfway there, so if you'd like to support the channel and help me, I don't know, get a camera, yeah, subscribe. I don't do a whole lot of long videos like this. I'm more of like a chill vlog type person. But who knows, maybe I'll make something like this in the future if I get an idea that I really like. And with that, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye!